One of you reached out and said, I just don't understand. I thought I did. I have such a clear image of my new life, of the new version of me. And I've affirmed it over and over again. And I am feeling it real. It feels real to me when I imagine it. He was talking about a state akin to sleep, imaginal scenes, the idea of robotic affirmations, all of that. He said, I've done all of that and it does feel real. But it's been months and months. I don't understand what's keeping me from being this new version of me, from living that new life that I want to live. And here's really where I started with him. There's only one thing that keeps you from being the person you have always wanted to be and living the life you've always desired to live. And it's this: the belief and assumption that you have to become someone else and be somewhere else than who you are and where you are here and now. This now moment, who you are, this physically focused you are all potential versions of you. Do you see, we create this linear idea of moving to some event or place in the future where things change, where things are different. You are already that. And you believe that you have, and I believe you, that you have a clear imaginal scene, that you have a clear image of this new life and who you are. And I believe you when you say you've been doing those robotic affirmations and all those other techniques. I get it. But hear this, all of that is, you have this invisible assumption that I am not yet that which I desire to be. Somehow the present moment, me being all that is and all that I am, all superimposed infinite identities of me, all simultaneous here and now, somehow that's not good enough. And I have to move somewhere else in the future to be somebody else. Do you see it? So you manifest and create an identity and reality of being the seeker of what you want and desire instead of being the source of it. I think he even used the word seeker when he was talking. I am is the only thought and feeling that matters. When we talk about the feeling of wish fulfilled, the teachings of Neville Goddard, he even says it's not emotion, but the acceptance of the fact that it is fulfilled. I am is a feeling of fulfillment because it's a state of being, of knowing you're fulfilled. It's absolute conviction. It's the only thought and feeling that matters. I am that. So you view, you perceive, and you create an experience of the present now moment. The only moment there is. The only moment that matters. The moment where you are here and now, even in that physically focused you, that individualized, personalized, localized consciousness that you call you, that personality. You are everything you ever wanted to be here and now. But you create it as a placeholder to get somewhere else, while you try to shift to some other version of you in your reality in time and space. Wow. But I want to show you why it's just a choice here and now. It is as simple as that. All versions of you in your reality are simultaneously existing within you and as you. As that awareness, as that consciousness. I am is you, because there's only one I am. All of those identities exist within you and as you as potential. They're not in the future, they're not in the past, they're right here and now. You, and that physically focused you, as you frame your experience right now, you're all of it. All potential frames and experiences of reality, all potential identities and versions of you. And I want to go back to that quote from Vadim Zeland in his book, Tufti, the Priestess. He wrote Reality Transurfing as well. When he describes reality, he says this. It's probably the most powerful definition of the idea of reality. It's just a definition. They're just words. But reality is what has never been and never will be, and only is in the here and now. This means that in any moment, only the immediate impression of reality, the illuminated frame, is ever real. Every moment is absolutely new, never experienced before, and will never be experienced again. This means you, standing in this physically focused body and personality that you call you, is what has never been and will never be again. In every moment that's happening, you're always new. In what's happening in the here and now, you create the idea of who you were. You're going to go, well, that's always been my past. But no, it's created right now. That by definition that we have, of the past, it seems like it's always been your past, but you're creating that always been your past idea here and now. It's new. And a new idea of who you are in the here and now, and a new idea of who you will be. In every moment of now, it's an entirely new you, entirely new idea of who you were, who you are, and who you will be. New script, new identity, new film role in every moment. In every moment, you are manifesting, creating, and experiencing a version of you, hear this, in your reality that you have never experienced before, has never been, and you will never experience again, will never be. And only is here and now. This means you in your past, present, and future versions of you, ideas of you, are completely, entirely new and created in every moment. Nothing is ever the same. And remember, the past and future are just ideas. It's you as all of those. All of your lives, all of your possibilities, you're living all of them here and now through this current focus and viewpoint and vantage point. Very powerful. We'll come back to this. But what's going on? What's our experience? Well, the experience is like a placeholder where you have this manifested present and this manifested past that seems to be the cause of your manifested present. And I can't do anything about those. So I'm just going to keep imagining my unmanifested future. This future that I want to get to. But hear this, all the affirmations and imaginal scenes and repetition and feelings and thoughts and all of those things you do, all of those techniques in the world, changes nothing, means nothing. As the seeker who assumes and believes I am not yet. That's why. That's why you hear so many mixed stories. That's why you have so many people popping up in YouTube and videos and TikTok talking about this. And many of them I'm talking to, that they say, I can't create for myself, but I seem to be able to create for others. You're a creator. You're creating it all. And it's only that idea of I am not yet. That's why you feel stuck, experiencing patterns or loops where nothing seems to change. But hear this big idea today. Only the acceptance, awareness, and conviction that I am that which I desire to be here and now creates and manifests the new version of you and that new reality. Nothing you did before this did anything. And nothing you do after does anything. It's only here and now. So the idea of robotic affirmations and repeated imaginal scenes and meditations, reprogramming the subconscious and regulating the nervous system, they are just concessions or permission slips. Until you finally say, I am that which I desire to be. But if your dominant assumption is I am not yet, well, that overrides everything because I am is reality. It won't matter how many affirmations you robotically do until exhaustion. How many times you repeat imaginal scenes. It doesn't matter how clear the picture is. It doesn't matter what you think that you're reprogramming. Nothing's rejecting you. Nothing's not accepting it. It's only you that accepts or rejects or denies anything. You can be a hot mess. Your nervous system a wreck. and still manifest the life of your dreams. Remember, that's just a manifestation. It's just a sensation or an effect of what you're believing about yourself, what you're assuming here and now. They're all just assumptions, all of that teachers and coaches and others have. Beliefs and concessions and permission slips. And then you do some, and so you go, but I've heard success stories. Yeah. Where they did robotic affirmations, or they did some imaginal scenes, or they believed that they were reprogramming their subconscious or regulating their nervous system. But what's happening really is they just decided, finally, that I am that which I desire to be. Those didn't do anything unless they believed that, unless they created that story and that experience. Then it does mean something, because you're a creator, you're a reality. They only mean what you decide they mean. So then you make up a story. So after you supposedly manifested what you want, saying, oh yeah, it was those conditions that I met. I did these processes and then I finally did it. But that's made up after. That's made up from your present state, creating a story of that's what happened. Nothing did anything but your own idea that you are that person you desire to be here and now. This even includes the idea of the bridge of incidents that one of you brought up. We create the bridge after as an idea to make space-time sense of that timeless, changeless, simultaneous existence of already being it. We make up the bridge in the linear experience, a way to explain how we experienced ourselves as that future identity that we always wanted to be. We create the unfolding, the story, all of it. It's a projection from within you. It has no reality outside of you. So how? And I'm going to say it's who. But how do you literally quantum leap into your new desired identity and reality then if it's all simultaneous? Well, I'm going to give you something today. First of all, I want to say you make the present now moment, I am that which I desire to be, all that matters. Everything else is irrelevant. And when we say irrelevant, it doesn't mean ignoring anything, saying that it's not there, saying that it's not real. Look at all of it, see it all, and decide that I am that which I desire to be here and now is all that matters. Then you say, but what if they're in my face and I have to do something and I have to move in the circumstances and conditions? Move in them. Allow them to be there. Nothing can get in your way of I am. Nothing. Choose you here and now. Do you see? We think something can get in the way of that. And so we focus on others and what their experience of us is. Choose you. Focus on experiencing yourself. Remember, it's not about belief in that idea. We said belief really is awareness. How do I believe it? How do I do it? How do I know it? All of that but the idea of belief requires proof. It creates doubt and uncertainty. We've said before, awareness is I am, is the proof. That naturally creates conviction and certainty. So instead of looking at the now moment and who you are right now, this physically focused you, some call it an avatar and an ego, and they just call it something. Oh, you got to get rid of that avatar, that ego. You got to ignore it. You don't got to do any of that. The physically focused you is insanely powerful. Insanely powerful. You are all that is. Just stand in that idea, framing that experience. And you're going to go, but what about past memories and thoughts and things and when I get triggered and all that? Remember, be delusionally forgiving. In other words, that's what continuous forgiveness of sin really means. That's what Neville, Goddard, and the others were talking about. Continually identify as that person that you desire to be, knowing it's here and now. The past is just an image or an idea that you create here and now. You don't try to get rid of any memory or experience. You know that you're more than all of those experiences. That's what it means to be forgiving. You're not forgiving anyone for something they did or didn't do. You're identifying as that person that you desire to be. That's what forgiveness is. Remembering who you are. Be delusionally forgiving. Because the past is just an idea that doesn't exist here and now. It's only an idea that you create. You can create anything. You've already had all potential past experiences and you're having them now. And then be delusionally convincing, or in other words, in the conviction of that new identity. Because the future is just an idea or an image created here and now. That's what we mean by be delusional. It's the only way, because nothing is realistic in that way. Because you're already all things. That seems delusional that you're already all things. That's the idea. You don't have to be practical and realistic. Be that version of you that you desire to be. There's only that vertical. We experience those versions and those experiences and circumstances as an unfolding, as a horizontal linear experience. But what is real is you. That frame that has never been and will never be, and is only here and now. In other words, you're a new version of you in a new reality in every moment that has never been and never will be. That's why you want to be delusionally forgiving. Because there is no past. There's just you here and now. It doesn't matter what physical proof you could show me. You could show me photos and scars and other things. Those are all ideas created now. You get to decide. They do nothing. They have no power and authority. Only you do. Be delusionally convinced that you're already that person you desire to be, because you are. Stand in that conviction. They're both just ideas from the now moment. Continually identify as a version of you who is and has it all. That changes everything, past, present, and future, here and now. Make everything and everyone else irrelevant. I'm not saying try to ignore them, try to make believe they're not there or they're not real. I'm saying look right at them and decide that they have no power and authority, no matter how irritated or frustrated you feel. No matter what thoughts and feelings are happening. No matter what you're seeing or doing. Make I am only thing that's relevant. Do you see the power here? You're creating all of it here and now. It's always new. What has never been and will never will be. Infinite. For eternity that's going on. Creation is finished means it's finished in potential, that anything that you could ever imagine or think or want to be exists here and now, or you couldn't think of it or imagine it or want to be it. Because non-existence doesn't exist. There's only existence in that infinite potential. And infinity must be, by definition, always expanding, or it wouldn't be infinity. At the same time, it must be finished. Because infinity includes everything. That's the great paradox. It's the great paradox of your beingness. And you're creating it all. The version of you has it all. Is all of it. So choose you. The version that has it all is you. That version of you who has it all is you. That's what we mean by that. I am your host, Tom Kearin. And these are the studios of Be Something Wonderful in the Tom Kearin channel, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, check out the Be Something Wonderful channel. We just released a video there. More content coming on both channels, as well as a live event in August. Live event number 45, where we answer your questions live as you ask them. So join us. It was a great live event we just had a few days ago, and we're going to start planning another one for August. With great love, with great light, and infinite gratitude, this is Tom Kearin here in the studios of Be Something Wonderful on the Tom Kearin channel. We'll see you soon.